Sunset Boulevard.
Before we get started, I wanted to say welcome back, Nick. Great show. I didn't get to listen to the last little part because I had to prepare for our own little shindig here, but what we did listen to was very, very, very good. Adrian, my wife, loves Galveston, loves the beach up there, and it's one of the places that she's been there. She's done some investigating in that area. So very good presentation, my friend. We cannot wait until your show is back every week because we miss you. So good job, Nick. The Nick Files will be coming back for a new season. Don't know exactly when, but hopefully soon, because we do miss everything that he does. So hello, everybody. My name is Zach. Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. What we're doing tonight is a little bit different because I've had issues with my head lately, and I had nothing to do with Stephanie, the goddess of the grapes. She does everything that she can do, and she does it properly. I, of course, screwed it all up because I was not feeling well. Let's just put it that way. I want to make sure that you guys do know that if you want to get a hold of Stephanie for any reason, you want wine pairings, you want anything, right here is the best link to get a hold of our goddess of the grape, Stephanie Samos. All you got to do is hit that up her link tree, and it takes you to everything that she does. We're going to be talking tonight about our first group of people that group of people that we were able to help by bringing some attention to them, selling some wines, and helping them out. We're also going to be playing some of the interviews that I've had. I wish I could play an interview from everybody, but I just don't have the time to do it. We only do have a 2-hour show here. So, dog, that scared the heck out of me. Dog just coughed, and I thought that those ghosts that my wife deals with were coming to get me. But that's not it. The dog just coughed. So, and now she's playing with the duck again. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring you the stories. We're going to make sure that you understand where the websites are and how you can find them. We're going to relive a little bit about what they do. Make sure you understand. Visit a little bit of their website and carry on and have a little bit of fun. So please remember, we're probably going to go on ahead and continue this on Friday as well. Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Mountain. So just to let you know, we're probably going to go on ahead and try to play more of the videos on Friday. So if we don't get to them today, we'll get to them on Friday. How does that sound? So, but we're gonna play a few of the episodes or a few of the interviews that we've done over the time here. So, the premise of these events are: we have teamed with Stephanie Samos from ONEHOPE Wine, and anytime during the month, we're going to introduce you to a couple nonprofits from throughout the country, all over the country, possibly all over the world. It just depends. If you want to get your nonprofit in this wine event, all you have to do is reach out to us at networking@communitypayitforward.us. And then anytime anybody buys a bottle of wine, your organization can get a portion of the purchase. Kind of like our first pairing. Our first pairing was the Avery Center and Project Die Hard. Two of my very, very favorite people in the world, Brian Gibson and Megan. It was wonderful to get to talk to them and learn a little bit more about what they do. The Avery Center has been one of our partners since the beginning. Let's just put it that way. They've been around since the beginning. And I went to speak to Megan before I even knew what I was really going to do. Let's put it that way. It was kind of one of those things that we were like, hey, this is what my plan is. This is what I'm going to do. Do you want me to help you? Please say yes, because we really do want to try to help you. And Megan was all about it. She was like, yeah, this sounds great. And then we were able to partner with her. She was one of our very first mission partners, and we love her still to this day. The mission of the Avery Center is we are leading the change makers in our community and across the nation to end commercial sex exploitation, CSE. Our sex trafficking research is used to reduce demand, convict traffickers, and decrease the barriers of marginalized populations through evidence-based services. One of the things that they do is they give care packages to individuals who are out there, who are currently being trafficked. They give them the resources to try to realize that there is life after what they're doing now. If you visit the averycenter.org, it's going to look a lot like this, because this is the website. This is the website for the Avery Center. It's the averycenter.org. And as you can see here, right here's the mission. Brings up all the services, all the research. These numbers are just wonderful, because Megan, the one thing that people need to realize is Megan's not only a survivor, she's also the founder of this organization. She was trafficked herself. The Avery Center is named after the name that was given to her, the name that her John, if you will, called her when she was being trafficked. Megan understands what's going on, all the hardships that people go through, understands that there's a criminal aspect to what she had to deal with. She not only was trafficked, she ended up being threatened, and the threats were as such that, you know, she was forced to do things, or her family was threatened. And these are some of the kind of despicable things that these criminals use against these innocent kids. And I'm not going to say girls, because it's not girls, it's kids. These kids work, these kids are trapped. They threaten to go after your sisters, your family, your mom, your brother. You know, hey, we know where they're at. They do research. Some of the tactics they use are like they'll sit outside of a Walmart, okay? And this is one of the things that I learned while sitting in one of these 350 training sessions. And they'll sit outside of Walmart, and what they'll do is they'll see somebody, a student walk in with a backpack, and they'll be like going, hey, don't you go to, and a lot of times, one of the things that we do is we offer information to people that we really don't need to be offering information to. So they'll say, yeah, well, I go to this school. Well, I think I saw you in that one class when I was walking out, you know, and biology, whatever it is. And yeah, hey, well, we've got this study group happening. Would you like to join us? These college students are on their own for the first time, a lot of times, okay? You got to understand this. This is the first time that they've ever been out on their own. And so what they do is they're looking for friends in any way. Naivety, the thought of friendship, all this stuff really comes into play here. And so they end up saying, you know what? Yeah, I'd love to join your study group. And unfortunately, what happens is as soon as they show up, it's all over. These are not all of the things that happen, okay? They utilize weakness. If right now it's easy for them to play on the emotions and the fears of kids and the LGBTQ community, because they're looking for support, so they can offer this support to people. And when you go in for that support, you realize that there's not any support there. It's a trap. The Avery Center is one of the groups that's going to be sitting there, and they're trying to change. They're trying to teach our children, ourselves, about what's going on. Uh, One of the things that I learned that I is amazing to me is that a lot of these kids will carry around more than one cell phone. They'll carry around the cell phone from their parents, and they'll carry around a cell phone from their pimp. That they absolutely must answer that cell phone, or they get in trouble for it. They have to recruit a certain amount of people, or they get in trouble for it. So you can find a lot of these stories. You can find a lot of the services. I mean, you just look right here. You hover over services and look at all those services that they offer. So the Avery Center is one of these groups that now, not only are they a community pay it forward partner, they're a mission partner, they're also, you can support them at any point in time because of the hard work of the goddess of the grape, Stephanie Samos. She has done a wonderful job. She has put them in the program to where every bottle of wine you buy can do great things for this cause and all the other causes that we've worked for, along with some of the other causes. Okay, I want to make this very, very clear. We love our causes, okay, that we bring to you. But there are so many other causes that are out there that Stephanie works with, which is just so fantastic. Veteran causes. She introduced us to a couple of these other causes that we're going to be talking about in a little bit. So, I mean, she works with causes all over the place, and each and every one means something, and they need your help. So please make sure, once again, you go to Stephanie's link tree. When you go to Stephanie's link tree, you can find out more about these causes. You can really learn some great things. The Avery Center, if you want to help support them, you can use this form right here, this job form, to a page to where anytime you shop with any of our partners at the Community Pay It Forward program, you can attach your receipt, your proof of purchase, to this job form right here. When you do that, a portion of your purchase, whether it's you get a quote from Farmers Insurance, from our great friends at the Nathan Sanchez Insurance Group, you get a quote from them, simply a quote from them. Tell them I found out about you through Community Pay It Forward. They're going to give $25 over to us, and we're going to send 80% of that $25 directly to the Avery Center or whoever you choose to support. So it's that simple. Today is National Salami Day. I love salami. So how about celebrate this by going to Bulldog Pub and Grub tonight? You go to Bulldog Pub and Grub and have yourself one of their wonderful Italian sandwiches, which has salami on it. Have one of their wonderful Italian sandwiches. Keep your receipt. Put it onto this jot form. Say, I want to support the Avery Center. And 10% of your meal's purchase will go towards supporting the Avery Center or whatever cause you like. You can find a lot of things right here at theaverycenter.org. Please make sure that you visit the Avery Center. Please read their services. Please read the About Us page. The Our Story page is just, there's so much information here that it's so needed. It's so interesting. and you can learn a lot about what they do. So I want to tell you that we support the Avery Center. We are proud to be a small part of what the Avery Center does. It's one of the greatest things that we get to do is we get to learn about some of these great causes like the Avery Center, like Project Die Hard. ProjectDieHard.org was the second cause on this night, on our first month. Brian Gibson is a great friend of mine, a great friend of mine. And you get to go to ProjectDieHard.org and you learn a lot about what happens here. Project Die Hard was started by Brian Gibson because Brian Gibson faced the demon that so many do. So many of our veterans do. Veteran suicide, the number that we're all accustomed to is 22 a day. Folks, unfortunately, 22 a day is outdated and the number is going the wrong way. ProjectDieHard.org, you can visit their website and you can learn more about what they're trying to do. They're trying to build the FOB, Forward Operating Base. The first one is going to be in Paducah, and I know I'm saying that right, but it's FOB Rush, named after a veteran who took her own life. She was a pilot. She was of the Angel flights, and that's when they bring home the bodies to those who have lost their lives, paid the ultimate price for a way of life that we all believe in and we all love. Battling away from their families, away from their friends, away from their loved ones. They lose their life for the beliefs of our country when it comes to freedom and being able to support each other and being able to be there for each other. I say this all the time. You do not have to love our government. God knows there's not much to love there. But you got to love our kids who are across seas, busting their ass. You got to love our veterans who have given up time away from their family, away from their friends, away from their birthdays, funerals, soccer games, baseball games, all of these things that they give up time out of their own lives, even if they don't go overseas. They're standing for the freedom, our freedoms. They stand for that. They make sure that they're there. They're working hard to make sure that our way of life stays our way of life. Everybody that's born now, in this country, we don't know what it was like to be occupied by England. And if it wasn't for brave men and women standing up against somebody else, that's how we would live our lives. Okay? So we need to make sure that we support our veterans whenever we can. And the homelessness of our vets is disgraceful. You go around and you see a homeless vet because maybe they've got some issues. Maybe they're battling that invisible battle, the one that's taking so many lives, more lives than the conflicts have taken recently. Losing 37 a day, folks. 37 of our heroes take their lives every day. Project Die Hard stands for this. They're going to put together a FOB where it's all inclusive. These heroes are going to be able to go there. They're going to be able to sit down with counselors or sit down at a computer with counselors. They're going to get job training. They're going to get clothing. They're going to get shelter, food, spiritual guidance. They're going to get a lot of these things while still having companionship. Brian in the Project Die Hard board is also offering something that none of these other programs that we found are offering. And each one of these FOBs is going to house 2 families. One of the things that we've brought up ad nauseum, and I know that you guys have all heard this, when someone is depressed, when somebody is willing to take and put that bullet through in their life, make that life-ending decision, you got to remember it's not just them we're losing. Their families are going through every ounce of pain that individual is. This pain is not only battle fatigue. This is another important thing that we need to remember. You see and you do things because you were torn apart by the U.S. government. You were trained to be somebody that they needed you to be. So they take you who you were, everything that you've learned for your first 18 years. They've taken that, thrown it away. This is no longer who you are. You are now first sergeant. You're now cadet. You're now, you're now this person. You are now an instrument for the United States services to use to mold how they need you to be. This is not a bad thing. We're not saying that. We are saying that they need to do a better job readjusting you back into society. Because giving you a check, giving you a handshake and saying, thank you for your service, you're no longer of use to us, this is not working. Project Die Hard is going to be around. They're going to do a lot of things because one of the things that they love to do is make sure that somebody's there for them. They cannot get started until, another thing we say ad nauseum, you can't build number 2 until number 1 is built. So let's help Brian get Fob Rush built. Let's get it started. Let's get it going. You can always contact Brian and the people on their website, projectdiehard.org. Okay, all you got to do is go here. There's a call line. If you're, please forgive me, I screwed up. Veteran Crisis Call Line is right here at the top of the page. Always call them. You can also reach out to Project Die Hard if you're looking for something. They will try to help you. You can also give us a call, 970-909-0751. One more time, 970-909-0751. If you're looking for something and you cannot find it, come to us. Let us try to help you. If we can help find those services, we would love to be there for you. We'd love to try to help you out. So please give us a call, give them a call, and let's see what we can do to help you. Go to the contact us page on projectdiehard.org. You have all the information to try to get a hold of you. Paducah, Kentucky is where the Fob Rush is going to be. Please, if you're in that area, go and check it out. Put your hands on the Fob. See what it's all about. Anytime that you make a purchase of wine through ONEHOPE Wines, Project Die Hard is they are there for you. Project Die Hard is one of the groups that you can donate to from now on. I want to thank both Avery Center and I want to thank Project Die Hard for being our initial causes for our wine center. Brian and Project Die Hard are also a community pay it forward mission partner. So anytime that you shop with any of our partners, any of our community pay it forward family, you get the receipt and you can add it to this job form right here. which is the job form for FOBs and Project iHeart. Once again, we cannot build number 2 until number 1 is built. So let's get to working on this. Brian pulled the gun out of his mouth. Brian made that decision. He heard the Lord. The Lord helped heal him. The Lord gave him a mission. And this mission is to help other people. So please, let's help Brian help others. Help the men and women who sacrifice time, blood, sweat, tears, energy, limbs, lives by making sure that we're getting some of these heroes off the streets. Project iHeart, great organization, wonderful, wonderful people, hardworking mission. Please check them out, projectiheart.org. Visit any of our partners, jotform.com, 221-654-29-0430-146. I know that's way too long to remember, so we will put all the information. It's right up there on our website. All you have to do is go to the mission partners on communitypayitforward.us and go to the mission partners, and you will find this form that you can put onto your phone. You can support Project iHeart every time you make a purchase when you make a purchase from a Community Pay It Forward fundraiser, but family partner. I don't know why I just had a seizure, but I did. Just go on to communitypayitforward.us and look up Project iHeart. Just type up Project iHeart right there. It'll get you to this form. You put this form, you attach it to your phone. Like I said, anytime you make a purchase with one of our partners, you attach it, and 80% will go to Project iHeart. So once again, please learn everything that you can about them at projectiheart.org. Our second month, we had 2 more dear friends of mine. We had JR from the Veterans Ranch. You've seen JR. JR was there with me when we did the first 22-hour podcast. It was long. For me, it was very long. But the great thing is that I knew I was never alone. I had JR sitting there with me the whole time. I saw him right there on the screen. It says, "You're still being joined by JR of the Veterans Ranch." I knew he was there. So I thank him very much. Like myself, JR is not a veteran. We are patriots. We love our veterans. We love our currently enlisted. We love our heroes. Okay. What JR has done, and I love the story. I love his story. And if you haven't heard it, it's a really good story. One of the things that he did, he was told by his father a long time ago, keep a notebook by your bed. You never know when a good thought's going to come to your mind. And one day he wrote down ranch on this notebook. Didn't know what the heck it was supposed to mean. Didn't know what it was supposed to do. But what he did from that point on is he put 2 of his loves. The love for ranching, the love for the cowboy life. How he got the cowboy life from St. Louis, I'll never know. But man, that's... Yeah. St. Louis, beautiful city. Beautiful city. That driving in, seeing that arch over the river, gorgeous. If you've never had a chance to do that, please try to make that one of your bucket list things to do at night. One of the most beautiful things you'll ever see. JR and his wife started the Veterans Ranch, and his father, And the Veterans Ranch is all about trying to help our veterans battle the PTSD. battle some of the things that they have to battle after being in the service. Okay. Go to the veteransranch.org. This pops up. Beautiful, beautiful website. Do you give a buck? Is one of the things that JR started. I love that saying. I think it's fantastic. They ask you to give a buck here at the Veterans Ranch. You know, every dollar goes to help them put ranches together. We're looking at a program here that, like Brian at Project Die Hard, we need to get the first one built to get the second one started. We need your help. I met JR about 2 years ago when the pandemic started, and we were networking together, and this encounter turned into a great friendship. Then we met Brian, and we just became fast friends, fast partners, trying to help each other out. One of the great things about the FOBs is Veterans Ranch is going to have a huge fingerprint there. Veterans Ranch is going to be offering equine therapy at all the FOBs once they're built. So once again, that's how important the FOBs are. When the FOBs are built, Veterans Ranch is going to get something in there to help with equine therapy. Not knowing how much you know about horses, I know that they're funny looking animals with really big teeth that, you know, they like to grab your shirt when you're trying to work. That's what I know, because that's what happened to me. I also know that they scare the holy heck out of me. And they look at me and they go, "Please, fat man, do not sit on me. I do not want you on my back." I don't blame them for this. So Brian will tell you right now, he'll tell you the story about how a horse can feel a fly on their back. They can feel your intentions. They can feel your heart. They can feel your feelings. They're going to put a grooming brush in your hand. That's the first thing they're going to do. They're not going to tell you, "Here's a horse, here's a saddle, giddy up." They're going to get you used to this animal that it has no reason to like you. It has no reason to do what you're asking it to do. It doesn't know you. No reason to respect you. So you're going to have to build respect, and you're going to have to build a kinship with this animal. Once you build that kinship, you start doing something that, as a motorcyclist, I can tell you how true this is. When you're alone with me, a motorcycle, with JR, and the people who have benefited from the Veterans Ranch, your horse, you're alone, you're there with your thoughts, with something that is there to calm you down. There's nothing more majestic than sitting there with your thoughts in the wind, being with this animal, being with the metal for me, and your thoughts. It's such a wonderful, wonderful thing. So it's easy for me to talk to JR about a lot of this stuff, because it does go to motorcycles with me. And knowing one of the other people that we're going to talk about here in a minute, he rides motorcycles along with horses. So he can tell you the similarity is there. He can tell you that it's very, very similar. The difference is that, you know what, the motorcycle, even though they act like it sometimes, they don't have a mind of their own, and they're not going to kick you just because, you know, you're standing behind them. They'll throw your butt off if you mistreat them. Don't get me wrong there. And a motorcycle sometime will have a brain of its own, because it doesn't want you screwing around on it. So don't screw around on them. But anyway, Veterans Ranch is another one of our wonderful, wonderful family missions. This job form right here, again, can be found on their website. or on our website, communitypayitforward.us. It's very easy to find. It's right there. You can search for it. Type Veterans Ranch into the word, into the search box, and it'll be right there. So again, all you have to do is go to the mission partners and find it. Go to one of our any of our wonderful friends at communitypayitforward.us, any of our family members, and they will help you. You simply do business with them, and when you do business with them, shish me, when you do business with them, they will give a portion of what just happened there. When you do business with them, they will give a portion of your purchase to JR and the Veterans Ranch, and that will just help other veterans find comfort, find solace in equine therapy. I'm trying to get this right, so please bear with me a little bit. But our first video of the night is going to be talking to JR. Okay, so I hope that you appreciate this video. This is talking to the man, JR Smith of the Veterans Ranch. This was recorded quite a while back, so I know that there are going to be some updated things, but this is our first interview. I hope you really enjoy this. Once again, this is JR Smith of the Veterans Ranch. He's going to be telling you a lot more about what they do. I hope you enjoy this. Here we go. Everybody, we're here with JR Smith from the Veterans Ranch. JR, we are in the halfway point of May, a little over halfway. But we wanted to check back with you and make sure that we can tell everybody more about what the Veterans Ranch does. We really want people to understand what you do and the important part that you play when it comes to helping our veterans.
Well, thanks again for having me on here, Zach. Greatly appreciate it. And hello to everyone out there into the pACT podcast world. You know, the Veterans Ranch started in December of 2017 with the goal and mission of working with our veterans and their families to really get them to lay down heavy coats of burden, walk off a new and improved version of themselves, and the ultimate goal of getting down what we now have is an average of 35 a day veteran suicide problem. You know, we start that really simply by putting one of these simple things in your hand. It's called a groom and brush. You know, we're just going to get you to start working a rhythmic motion of grooming that horse, building a bond of trust with an animal that's inherently born not to trust any of us. They're herd animals, they're pack animals. So they do great in packs. They don't do great by themselves. So the big key is you to learn about your horse to learn about you. And again, just get you to start laying down those heavy coats of burden, whatever that might be.
Horses, and you've said it many times, that horses will take and they can feel a gnat on their ass. Well, one of the reasons why you're having such great success of this is that they can also feel the burden of a person when they jump on, and they can feel the relief as that burden's released, correct?
They absolutely can. You know, short version of a long story is we had a gentleman, he was active duty airman. We put him next to a Belgian, which for everybody out here that's not familiar with that size of horse, take a Budweiser Clydesdale and just barely shrink it down a little bit, and that's a Belgian. I'm 6'4". I'm looking at this horse's shoulders at eye level. The guy we put next to him was 5'5" with boots on. He's looking at ribs. He'd never been on a horse before. We found out he was from the Bronx, never even had a pet dog. You know, they were strays running through the neighborhood. We got him on the horse, got him out on a trail ride. An hour later, he was so excited, he got a Powerade and went back out on the second ride. We were kidding with him when he came back. We gave him a bag of frozen peas to take with him. And if you know, you know. we were kidding, seeing if he wanted to go on a third ride. He's like, no. But I tell you what that guy did is he was so excited, he was able to deploy back out to Okinawa and stick his chest out a little higher because he overcame a fear he didn't even know was a fear. His wife was in absolute tears because she couldn't figure out why she could never get him to go to a horse event with him. And now they know why, but now they can do another thing together that they didn't do before.
So it's not just, there's a lot of discovery that can be done. And I think a lot of that, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but that's because if you go into a place, it's an animal, and you can really, once again, I do this quite often with you, and I apologize, but it's kind of like being on a motorcycle when, when I'm heading towards the mountains on a motorcycle, you get that feeling where it's you, the bike, nothing else.
Nothing else matters. You tune out the world. I used to drag race, and I'd be that way when I'd get, when I'm in, the helmet's on, and you're getting ready to go down a quarter mile. It's you and that tree. That's not the guy next to you. It's you and the tree in your lane. I've had a lot of expensive hobbies. In the day I used to play hockey, and I was a goalie. It was me and that puck. Yeah. 6'4", 240 at the time, and fast and flexible. They thought they just put the big dude between the pipes to take up some space. So it was me and the dude in front of me that wanted to shoot this piece of vulcanized rubber at me at 90 plus miles an hour. You zone in, you tune out. Me personally, people know when I'm in a zone, I start to yawn, and they're like, "Are we boring you?" I'm like, "No, I'm in that zone." And my body naturally starts to yawn because I'm just there, right? I'm in that moment. And it is just absolutely amazing. Again, this simple groom and brush, and horse people out here watching this, they're sitting here going like this right now because they'll know I'm right. You forget about the world. Are you having a bad day? Go groom your horse for an hour. Go bathe your horse. And, your horse is going to enjoy it, and you're going to feel a whole lot better when you get done.
Yeah. Let's tell people about the needs of the Veterans Ranch.
Yeah, well, there's a lot, but really it is connections. We are trying to, and when I say that, I mean we're trying to grow the advisory board. There are only 3 types of people we put on the advisory board. My wife and I are proud patriots. That means we are the 99%, like Zach, that support the 1% that said, "I'll go, send me, protect and defend the Constitution," that wore the uniform. Okay. So the only people that are on the advisory board are veterans, Blue Star families, which are active duty military families, or our cherished Gold Star families that lost someone in combat. That's all that can get on the board. We're looking for aggressive go-getters, meaning people that don't mind asking for some cash, leveraging their network because they're on board and support what we're doing. And help us get our own piece of dirt. We run this out of our house right now, but right here where we're corporately based in Florida, we're looking at land, but it can disappear as fast as it gets listed because of just how great the real estate market is right now. A new program that we are starting, and we'll make the first announcement here today, is our affiliate ranch program. If you're a veteran and you own horses and you want to become us, reach out to us today, because we have a program now that can make you become us in any city in the country. We're actually going to launch our first one here shortly. They're signing the paperwork as we speak in St. Louis, Missouri. So overnight, we're going to be doubling our efforts and have the Veterans Ranch in St. Louis and the Veterans Ranch here in Lakeland, Florida.
I'm not positive on this, but I seem to think I might know somebody else who may be a good fit to work with you. It's probably the guy that I'm going to talk to here in a couple minutes, Mr. because he's right there with you. They do a different type of PTSD training with horses, and I'm going to tell you something. His daughter is so good at it, and just watching her go is amazing, and knowing what she's been through and some of the issues that she's had. And I know that John and I were discussing the other day how she couldn't ride due to a health issue, and it was a negative experience, and she really hated it. So,
yeah, I believe it or not, it's probably been 30 days since I've been on a horse, and I'm just kind of like, really? When are we doing something else here again? Because it drives me nuts. And obviously nonprofits as a whole run on donations. We apply for grants and things of that nature. A lot of people don't realize those aren't a guarantee. Someone has to read what you wrote and like it. We do get grants from time to time, but like, for example, I filled out one last October and I didn't find out until the end of March of 2022 that we got partial funding for that grant. We're very thankful for it, but you might go 4 to 6 months before you find out an answer on those. So it's really grassroots. It's you, the American public out there watching this. Right now we're doing Project 22,000. Okay, that is 22,000 people making at least a one-time donation of $22, and if you can afford it, $22 a month. So everybody that's got a calculator out there, if you just took 22,000 people doing a one-time donation of $22, that's a lot of money. We can make a big difference in the veteran community with that. Get our own piece of dirt, buy some horses, whatever. It's endless. The ripple effect will be enormous because right within 10 counties of where I sit right now are north of 400,000 veterans in the state of Florida. So we've got a great talent pool that we can pull from, and we're just asking for your help.
JR, and I'm going to backtrack a little bit here to where you were talking about the fundraising. There's a lot of people who sit there and they talk about going, you get this every time that, so from a nonprofit wants to talk to you, do this. Oh God, they're just going to ask for money. People actually, I think there's a lot of misconception out there that people think that we like asking for money. That's the worst part of what we do. I swear to God, if I never had to ask for another dime, I would be a happy individual. It would make my life so much better if we could just take and come up with ideas and genie them out there and poof, here it is. That's up and running. I think the life would be so much better, not just for us, but for everybody. And
because you're right. I mean, you go to a chamber meeting or a Rotary Club meeting, you're a speaker, and they find out you're a nonprofit. They immediately start grabbing their wallet because they know you're going to ask for money. We have to do it. It's tougher some days than others, but the main thing that we really try and focus on is educating about the mission. Most people don't realize that a horse needs to see a dentist every 6 months to a year, just like we do. That they need to get their nails trimmed, get their hooves trimmed about every 6 weeks, just about like we do. You got to see a veterinarian at least once a year. If you're an older horse, probably about 20 years and up, that might be twice a year. So if people understand where the money goes, it makes asking for the money easier. If all we do is sit here and bludgeon people over the head with gimme, 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 and they don't know why and can't get emotionally attached to why, it does make our job very hard. But we pride ourselves in educating on the mission and where the money goes and what it's for. And then it makes people understand better and they're more willing to give.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why, I asked that question for one simple reason. And is this a little bit grandstanding? Maybe. But, here at Community Pay It Forward, you are a mission partner with us. And anytime that you make a purchase with any of our partners that can be found on our website, communitypayitforward.us, just go to the fundraising family. And anytime you go and you shop with any of those, you can make a donation to J.R. Smith and the Veterans Ranch simply by turning in your proof of purchase to us and put the Veterans Ranch on your receipt. All you have to do is take and simply shop with our partners, turn in a receipt. You don't have to spend any additional money, not a penny more. Click a picture, send it to us and say, we support J.R. Smith and the Veterans Ranch. And 80% of whatever comes to us goes directly to them to make sure that they're the reason why we're all here. This little code right here is the most important thing of this night. Please make sure that you scan this little baby right here and order a great bottle of wine. We're going to be joined by, and I gave her the name earlier, so I'm going to stick to it. Here in just a little bit, we're going to be joined by the Grape Goddess. and Stephanie Samos, and she's going to tell us a little bit more this. But JR, I wanted to take this opportunity to let you know that I've got some really good news for you, my friend. And that news is that I told you about a program that Mr. Z and I were working on when it comes to a dollar store. We have signed the paper, sir, and a portion of every sale from our dollar store, probably starting on Monday, will be coming to VCP, which means that this dollar store it's going to be the community dare to care shop. And our tagline, and I think that you'll like this. All right, this is kind of the adult tagline, but it's the dollar store that cares a hell of a lot more. So that's
Like
our
it.
tagline that we're going to go with right now. So,
Yep.
but
Like it.
I just wanted.
Hey, what do we say, right? Do you give a buck? Do you give a buck about veterans? So it's the dollar store that gives a hell of a lot more. I love it.
So, but those papers are signed, my friend, and I just wanted to take this little moment to express to you that I am so proud that we're going to be raising money for VCP, the Veterans Ranch, and Project iHeart, and everybody else that joins us on VCP, because it's such an important mission. So
absolutely is, and we just love you to death out here on the East Coast. You know, everything you're doing, we all do it together, but you know, it's like we all put in that little extra niche for each other that helps get each other over the top. Just can't say thank you enough. Thank you to One Hope Wines for, you know, what they're doing for us here for the month of May. It's just a great experience. You know, reach out to us, everyone out there, even if you're not a veteran, if you know a veteran that has a ranch that, you know, wants to do something but didn't know how, you guys can partner up together, reach out to us. We want one of these bare minimum in all 50 states. Because, you know, I mean, you got close to 5 million veterans just between Florida and Texas, about another million in Missouri. You know, keep multiplying that in much bigger, larger states. There's a lot of veterans we need to help. We're losing close to 13,000 plus a year that don't need to be gone, that need, you know, people need to know what they know. So reach out to us, help us out. If you want to get on the advisory board, there's a lot of things I could share with you on some individual one-on-ones, and look forward to speaking to y'all out there.
JR, how did they get a hold of you? Do you have a phone number that they can reach out and talk to you personally?
Absolutely. Website, theveteransranch.org. Phone number, there we go. Phone number, area code 863-815-5896. 863-815-5896. Please leave a message. As everybody can imagine these days, 9 times out of 10, that office number is forwarded to my cell phone. Spam city today, you know, car warranties and health insurance and whatnot.
Is your car warranty up too?
You know, and my car went out of warranty 11 years ago, but they're still trying to renew my warranty. So
I have a 1979 Datsun B210. No.
So we ask, please leave us a message if we're not able to get to you, because I mean, you know, we are, you know, the joking one-arm wallpaper hangers here. You know, this is ran by myself, my wife, my dad, who's a Vietnam veteran. There's a lot going on at one point in time, and we don't want to miss your call. So please leave a message or shoot us an email, and we will get back to you. I was answering emails at midnight last night, so I will get back to you.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I cannot wait until we finally get to meet one-on-one.
Yes, sir.
And now I'm extremely excited, because I really think that there could be a coalition here between both of our wonderful programs today, Veterans Ranch and the Martyred Angels. And I know that, you know, you two individually are two of my favorite people in the world. I just love you both with all my heart. You know, JR and John is one of my idols. You cannot hear his story and feel a little heartbreak, you know.
Yeah, you get a little allergy in your eye when you hear his story.
It's tough. You read about Bladen, but I'm going to tell you something. Hearing that story about Bladen starting that bike, that is one of the stories that, you know, it makes you tear up and laugh at the same time, because
It does.
you can picture John's face when that's going on, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of like this.
Yeah, it's like, so, but I want to thank you, my friend. We're going to keep trying. We've got another half a month to go. But as we told you last month, guess what? It doesn't stop there. See this right here? Anytime you purchase wines from One Hope Wine, you can now, from this moment on, say, we support the Veterans Ranch. Next time, if it's not by till the end of May, maybe it's not until July. You want to celebrate July 4th. So you're going to order in June. You can say, I want to support the Veterans Ranch. They are now in the program. So anytime you buy One Hope Wines, you can support J.R. Smith, the Veterans Ranch, his wife and his father. So JR, my friend, my brother, thank you very much. Let's keep this up. Let's keep it going and keep the word sharing. Make sure that we do some good. God love what you do. God bless what you do. And thank you, my friend.
Thank you, brother. Greatly appreciate it.
Not a problem. That's J.R. Smith with the Veterans Ranch. We'll be right back. And we had talked about it before, so we're going to go on ahead and we're going to end up playing the John Vogel's video right after this because, you know, as we had mentioned before, John Vogel's, they were on the same month. Once again, we will be playing more videos on Friday. We'll be talking about this a little bit more on Friday. So, hey, you just watched a video, and we're asking Northern Colorado businesses to join us for the fifth annual, the finally fifth annual. It only took 7 years to get to 5 years, but we're asking you to join us for the finally fifth annual Chili Cook-Off Toy Drive, and now Texas Hold'em event coming up November 14th. We will be back at our dear friends Key Largo Lounge. We're going to be back. We're going to be making up some chili. We're going to be judging chili. We're looking for donations. We're looking for sponsors. If you become a gold sponsor, you can become a dealer right there. You get to talk to people. You get to talk about what you do, who you are, introduce yourself to some people. And you get to help us raise money for kids in Northern Colorado hospitals. Are you a nurse at a Colorado hospital that we do not, a doctor, administrator, cook, I don't care, whatever. Are you part of a hospital that we do not take care of? Right now, the hospitals that we're looking to do business for, again, finally, again, are the 2 in Longmont, 2 in Loveland, 2 in Fort Collins, and of course the 2 in Greeley. So we've got 8 hospitals right now. If you are in the Brush Hospital, if you're in hospital ... in Northern Colorado, and you want us to help you, all you got to do is reach out. But let's start getting some of these companies to help us raise money for these kids. The purpose of this event is to provide toys, provide books, provide games for the family rooms, art supplies, journals, whatever it is. Provide it for these kids who are not in Children's Hospital. I love the Children's Hospital. Children's Hospital saved my father's life. I love the Children's Hospital. But everybody from the 1% motorcycle clubs to the Shriners are raising money for Children's Hospital. getting toys for Children's Hospital. We want to take care of our kids that are not sick enough to need Children's Hospital. Thank God, but they're still there. It's still scary for them. I don't care if it's for a tonsillectomy or cancer. You're scared when you go to a hospital. Let's make sure that we're taking care of all of our kids, okay? So we're asking you to get involved to help us by becoming a gold sponsor, and you can choose to be a dealer at one of the tables. And that gives you a chance to be face-to-face with so many of our partners or so many friends here in Northern Colorado. It gives you a chance to meet people, talk about what you do, become friends, get some allies with everything you do. So once again, just give us a call, 970-909-0751. Find out how to become part of it. You got a chili that you think is award-winning? Bring it. Bring it. Prove it. Let's go. $20. Portion of all entries will go to the winner. Okay. There's only one winner. There's only one prize winner. All of you are winners because you're all helping us get books, art supplies, toys that are wrapped in the original wrap, books. I've already said books, but journals, board games for kids in Northern Colorado Hospital, kids and families. So there's all kinds of things that you can do. So make sure that you help us. The November 13th, Key Largo Lounge. Let's have some fun. Let's help out some kids. So our next organization, this is still month 2 that we talked about, was my personal dear friend. I ended up spending Saturday with him. My son, my wife, and I, we were all out there to support John and Martyred Angels. MartyredAngels.org. If you have never been to that website, you have got to go to the website. It's MartyredAngelsFoundation.org. I touched on it when we talked with JR. When you read the why, I don't care who the hell you are. If you don't tear up, might want to check your humanity. John and his wife and their daughter lost Bladen when he was 3 years old. Bladen drowned in a pond that was right there on the family property. John was at work. His wife was not feeling well. Little Bladen escaped and he ended up drowning in a pond. John and his wife and their daughter needed some help. And they went to go look around, and there was nobody who did what they do, what they needed. Healing, to the point of healing can be, took place. And then John, his wife, and their daughter stepped up and they said, damn it, we're going to be what we needed. We're going to do what we needed. And folks, that is the way a lot of nonprofits go. You look for something, you need something to be there, and unfortunately, a lot of times it's not there. So somebody who's lived through the hell that you're living through right now, excuse me, the people who are there to support you, they've lived through this and they understand what you're going through, and they start a nonprofit. So John started Martyred Angels. MartyredAngelsFoundation.org is right there on the bottom. He started this to deal with the PTSD, to raise some of the money for the funeral costs, because the last thing in the world you want to do is deal with the funeral of a child. Nobody should have to bury their child. Nobody should have to bury their child. It- and it's an unfortunate fact that too many of us, too many, not us, thank God, not us, thank God, not us. We have not had to bury any children yet. Too many people have to. John and his group can be there to help you out. MartyredAngelsFoundation.org. Please go there. Please read why. Please read the why. It's so important. John's also going to tell you a story that's my favorite story. I mentioned it in the interview with JR. It's one of my favorite stories of all time. It makes me laugh every time. It makes me tear up and laugh at the same time. John is also, Martyred Angels is a community pay it forward mission partner. You can find their form right on their little heading. When you go to mission partners, you type in Martyred Angels in the search bar. It'll take you to their page. You hit up their profile, hit their job form, add it to your phone. Then every time you make a purchase with a community pay it forward partner, 80% of whatever you purchase goes to them. Again, John is a hero to me because I love my sons. I love my sons. We all love our kids. For him to come through what he came through, for him to be as strong as he is and build and do what he's done, that takes a special kind of person. And this is talking to any of you who have lost a child. I love you, and I give you all of my respect in the world, because that has got to be, John told me once, it's like having the worst heartburn you've ever had every day of your life. I've had some pretty damn hard heartburn. My son called me from Japan yesterday and told me that he blew out his arm. I wanted to break down and weep just because of that. And that's not, that wasn't life critical. So, I'm never going to say I understand what you're going through, but I'm going to tell you, this man, his wife, his beautiful wife, their lovely daughter, they can help you out. So please make sure when you go through, need some wine, you get a hold of Stephanie Samos, our goddess of the great. This is what that's all about. This was month 2. This is an interview that we did with the man, my hero, Mr. John Vogels of martyredangels.org. Hey everybody, this is Zach again. Now we're back here with the halfway point of our May wine celebration with John Wayne Vogels, the founder of Martyred Angels, which you can find Martyred Angels at martyredangelsfoundation.org. Please go and check it out. John, how you doing, brother? Other than running around busy.
I'm doing well, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yep. So we are halfway through this, and we're halfway through this campaign. And what we want to do is we want to ask people to, or ask you to come back on and just give anybody who did not have a chance to listen to our first show, just give them a little preview of what you guys do. And can you also tell us what are some of the things that any donations that come to you are going to be used for? So can you
Absolutely.
just give like an overview and then tell us what you would use all these donations for?
Absolutely. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. What we do is we help families after the death of a child. This stems from the loss of my son and my wife's son, and our daughter Raven's little brother Bladen, April 9, 2011. He's 3 years old. He accidentally drowned in a pond. What we found is that there was little to no resource for child loss. Found that, I don't know how to even say it, but I just found it surprising that there really isn't anything out there. So So we started the Martyred Angels Foundation for that purpose, for that reason, to provide services for families after the loss of a child. And we also help families, children that have lost a parent as well. We do this through our horse therapy program, riding program, which is just one program that we have, but it's extremely successful, very helpful, and really, really good reviews from families and registrants that go through it. We also provide temporary financial support, as well as fundraising to pay for cemetery plots next to the child, or in some horrible situations, children. We also do group support, group camps, meetings. We're teamed with International Star Registry, and of course, Community Pay It Forward. We're just teamed with so many great organizations to help raise funds for us to provide these services. But we're also in the process of hopefully acquiring property up by Estes Park, to enable us to be able to I guess, to do the equestrian capable lodge concept that we have. And with this idea, what it is, it allows public and registrants both to be able to come in, have a nice place to stay, but also have them access to these horses, and then to have a better understanding of how we use them for our therapy program, and hopes that they will also, through this, become continued supporters and donors, so we can continue to provide services that we do in the event of child loss. I guess that kind of sums everything up into a brief explanation, but if people are interested in why we actually started this organization, I usually advise them to go to our website at www.martyredangelsfoundation.org and click on the reason page. That tells you the story behind what happened, and gives a better idea of why this foundation was started, this nonprofit was founded. And if you cruise the site, it gives you more information, detailed information on the programs that we have, the sponsors that we have, different areas to go to help fund the organization. Of course, through your organization, Community Pay It Forward, really easy. I mean, with you, all they have to do is shop and and mention the Martyred Angels, and provide their receipt to you, and a donation is provided. So that's, I mean, you can't get much easier than that. And there's other ways as well. When you go to the homepage of the website, there's a donate button that we have. We're also linked with King Soopers. People can register their cards, their King Soopers card, with King Soopers, and it's just like, you just shop. It's that easy, man. It's so, and what King Soopers will do is each quarter they'll donate, I believe it's 5% of the total of what the person spent, purchased at their store. And it can be used at any King Super store, but it's Kroger store. It's really simple. But once again, all you have to do is go to the website, check it out. There's so many different areas to help that doesn't involve taking money personally out of pocket if you can't afford it. And trust me, we definitely understand that. So if you can't afford to do that, Community Pay It Forward. Exceptional work you're doing, my friend. Just a great organization you have, and then various other platforms that are on the website.
Yep. One of the other things is, even though May is halfway over, it doesn't matter. Martyred Angels is now a registered 501c3 with Hope Wines. So anytime that you scan this little code right here, from now until whenever, anytime you purchase Hope Wines, a portion of your bottle can go to support John. Martyred Angels can go to support JR veterans from now on. That's one of the great things about what Stephanie and Hope Wines has done, is that this has also opened up the knowledge of knowing a little bit more about these programs that are near and dear to my heart personally. John, I got to ask you this question, and I'm not sure if I've ever asked you this before, but I when people come to you, they're coming to you from a very, very difficult situation. We already know this. How many
Right.
times have you had to have that conversation where the conversation starts out, God, I wish I would have known about you before something else, before or when I lost my child 5, 6 years ago? How many times have you had to have that conversation?
Numerous. And once again, the reason for that is because there's little to no availability in the child loss area, and it's surprising. I mean, I'm still surprised about it today. And there was a service here that my wife and daughter and I attended through Boulder County, and I can't remember exactly how many we went to, 2 or 3, no more than 3. Of course, everything was a fog. After Bladen, still have days of fog today, but unfortunately, didn't. Um, they just didn't feel as though that department required funding. And to my understanding, once again, I hope I'm understanding this correctly, but it's to my understanding, it was there wasn't enough children dying for them to keep the department funded, so they reallocated all funds and closed the department entirely. And we couldn't believe that. So that's another reason why we started this. And definitely let me hit on this, because I can't believe I forgot this. But a shout out to Stephanie, and of course, as what was referred to earlier in a message, a goddess of grapes, or I as mentioned, the goddess of fermented grapes
There you
with
go.
ONEHOPE wine. So yeah, what a great organization that is as well. They're super. We are so honored and blessed to be a part of all your programs. What an exceptional honor to have. So thank you all for doing that.
John,
We're truly blessed.
I'll be honest. You and I'll say this until I'm blue in the face. You are, when it really comes to it, you're one of my mentors. You're one of my heroes because of
Oh, thank you, brother.
what you've
God
done
bless you.
with your situation is something that I could never tell you that I understand. I could never. Thank God, because I am not sure if I would be strong enough to do what you did. I really don't know. I know I was strong enough to do what I did after my accident, but
Right.
after losing a child, I'm not sure, John, if I would have been strong enough. Honest, it's just the honest truth, to pick up as you did and make such an impact out of something so just tragic, so tragic. And you've always been one of my sounding boards. You've always been one of my heroes because you put together this wonderful program to try to help people out. And I just want to extend my love to you, your daughter, your wife. You guys have done such a wonderful job. You guys are such wonderful people, keeping together as a family and keeping each other up through Bladen and through the challenges that your wife had recently had with her leg, and
Yeah.
now Raven with her little bit of bout of that she's had. You guys have been kicked in the groin many a times, and I just love the hell out of you being able to keep it together. And anything that we can do, we are proud to be associated with you, sir. We are proud of that.
Well, God bless you, my friend. It's and truly blessed to not understand. And I make that statement to people often, that I am, without a doubt, I am so happy when I hear somebody say that they don't understand, because they're truly blessed to not understand, without a doubt. So it's an honor for us, man, and appreciate you for that. I can't thank you enough for for everything you do, for everything Stephanie, the goddess of fermented grapes, does, and all involved. I mean, if it wasn't for you and organizations like yours and the support that we're getting from other businesses, organizations, individuals, if it wasn't for that, just like any other business or organization, we wouldn't be able to provide the service that we do. So through grants, you know, through all these other areas of funding, if it wasn't for that, we would not be able to do what we're doing. But we're really hoping to be able to acquire this property up by us, as it would be such a huge benefit for everybody. And that's the whole premises behind this, is that it benefits everybody. Everybody wins out of this concept. So really hoping to be able to implement it and get it going. And, you know, if you don't mind, I want to shout out, we have a June 18th event at the Boulder Elks Lodge number 566. We're doing a fundraiser there. We have two very famous athletes. One is a very famous Colorado runner, Melody Fairchild, and we have a silver medalist Olympian, Kara Gucher, that's going to be there. They're going to give a presentation. So please get on the Martyred Angels Facebook page and you'll see the event posted. And I shared it, and I'm inviting people, but as you know, with Facebook, you're limited on how many invites you can send. So hopefully people will get on. Of course, please like and share our page, and then like and share and get involved with this fundraiser. It's going to be a great fundraiser. Everybody's going to have fun. We have a band raffle, 50-50 raffle. We have what do they call? We're going to have a silent auction with a bunch of donated items. So just get on board, have some fun, spend some time, and you know, be a part of what we're doing.
And that's one of the last things that we need to ask you about. If you want to be part of supporting Martyred Angels, we're going to ask you right now. Give us a call, 303-442-5003. Once again, that's 303-442-5003. And say, hey, you know what? We've got something to donate for your silent auction. We need items. We need to make this supreme great. So if you can't do what you can do, but if you've got something that we can auction off to help support Martyred Angels, we need your help right now. You can either call me, 970-909-0751, or leave a message for John right there at 303-442-5003. Make sure that you're making an impact. Because remember, if you're doing nothing, you're not accomplishing anything. So John, yeah, I know you got to run, brother. Quick 15 minutes. We've got to stop meeting like this. We need to sit down sometime and have a soda or something. But
I'm
much love,
with you, brother.
You, the family, everyone. We're going to keep supporting you here, and make sure you get on and let's buy some wines. Use this code. I can't turn my arm that way now, but use that code right now through the end of May. Let's support Martyred Angels. Let's support Veterans Ranch. Let's come together, because no one has to go it alone when we all come together. Thank you very much, John. You have a great day.
No, you as well, brother. And just real quick, that we're definitely reaching out to try to acquire more sponsors. So if anybody's interested, you know, like you said, reach out. They can email me at martyredangels501c3@gmail, and I can send them information, become a sponsor. And if you don't mind, also want to include the little motorcycle attachment to the organization. I tear up with this story, but I love telling it. As you're aware, when both my kids turned 1, I would put them in the front seat of the motorcycle with me, and I have a 98 Road King carbureted. And you know that this is going to be the blessing as to the story. But so anyways, when both my kids turned 1, I'd put them on the front seat of the motorcycle with me. and we do little circles in the cul-de-sac and go up and down the road. So they just absolutely enjoyed and loved these rides. So I come home one day from work and I had a really long shift, so I was extremely tired. So I came home, and when they would hear me coming home, they would either have their faces pressed up against the glass on the front door, or they'd be out at the mailbox waiting for their turn. So I pulled up and I pulled in the driveway, and I'm like, Dad, can't give you a ride today. I'm just too tired. I pulled the motorcycle in the garage and parked it, and I never had a reason to lock it up in my own garage. It was very secure, so I didn't have any reason to do that. So I go in the house to make something to eat, and I make something to drink, and it took a little bit of time. And I went downstairs to sit down and relax, and I hear the starter engaging on the motorcycle. I'm like, holy crap. So I get up quick and I run out, open the door. Now, Bladen was 2 at this time. Open up the door to the garage, and there's Bladen standing on the tanks. I have 18-inch bars on it. So he has one hand wrapped around the bar and he's pressing the start button. Now, I never noticed him paying attention to how I started the bike. So he had the ignition switch turned over, and he wanted to go for a ride so bad, he was going to start that bike and take it himself. So he's in the start button. I'm like, Bladen, no. And I go out there to grab him. Now he's nailing it, man. So it's grinding, engaging. But ever since then, that bike's locked up. I'm a foot away, man. I don't care. I locked the bike up. But I couldn't think of a better tribute to include that into the organization as well. So we have a motorcycle membership for any riders out there that are interested in getting involved and supporting and flying the patches for the Martyred Angels. That'd be absolutely fantastic as well.
You know, my suggestion to you out there is that this man is full of stories. He's full of good times. John, you've got, quite an exclusive, interesting past from the old days of being a musician all the way up to now. So,
Yes, sir.
you know what? Go to his events, sit down, talk to John. It's you won't regret it. So, but John, I know that you've given us about 5 minutes more than you really had, but I want to thank you very much. And once again, brother, so much love coming out to you and the family, and continued support from us to you.
I appreciate you, brother. Love you too, man. And you have our full support as well. Just a blessing to have you in our life. So I thank you. I appreciate you.
No, we're here for you always. So, but thank you very much, John.
God bless. I appreciate you, brother.
I warned you. I warned you about that story. It's, as I said, it tears me up, makes me laugh at the same time. As a rider, I know how scary it is to go out there and see a child that just loves the machine, probably loves the machine a hell of a lot more than he loves you. But see them kind of monkeying around it, and you're like going, oh my God, did I shut it off? Did I lock it? What, You know, can they start it? Are they safe? You know, so yeah, it's really you know, it's one of those stories that is everlasting in his mind, and it really explains a lot of, you know, Bladen was so young that there weren't a lot of, you know, everything's a memory. Everything's a memory, and with the 3-year-old, you know, it's a lot of good memories. But 3-year-old, there's not a lot of memory there. You know, there's just never enough time. You hear people say that often. That's one of those cases where there literally was not enough time for the memories to make, you know, a lifetime of memories. So stories like that are something that, you know, John holds on to every time he holds on to the thought of Bladen. So please make sure that you do support, once again, supporting Martyred Angels is you know, it's just one of the wonderful things that people do out there that we can support by simply making a purchase. Shop, click, and pick. Shop with our partners, click a picture of the proof of purchase, and pick the mission. Right here can be one of the no, sorry, messed it up. Right here can be one of those missions, which that can be one of the missions, but that's not the one that I wanted at right yet. But this is one of the missions. So again, everyone you've seen so far is one of our mission partners with the Community Pay It Forward program. So somebody who is not yet a member of the Community Pay It Forward program, but is nonetheless one of our favorite missions in the world, is the Lucas Project. We had Jess Roney on, the founder and CEO, and she was telling us about the difficulties of being a caregiver. And, you know, this is one of the misconceptions that a lot of people have. They sit there and they go, yeah, you're a caregiver, but you're a caregiver for your own child. Does that mean I'm a caregiver? Folks, there's a lot of difference between a caregiver of a child with disabilities and being a caregiver for a child, you know, who doesn't have the special needs. Every child has special needs. Let's be honest here. Every child is different. Every child has needs that they need taken care of. Well, Jess Roney has a son who is on the low functioning spectrum of autism, and he's you know, she loves him. You know, you love your child, but she talks about how difficult it is to function as a complete and total human being, and even function with your other children, when so much time's got to be dedicated to one because of the ability challenges of that child. She created the Lucas Project, lucasproject.org. You can visit there. And I guess I shared the wrong thing. I think what I did is I shared my own screen, so you got to see more of me, not what you want to do. So lucasproject.org is right here. You get to meet Jess right here on the About page, and CEO Jess Roney. So we believe supporting the caregiver is the best way to support individual with special needs. This is done, what they do is the Lucas Project was a dream that began with Lucas, who was miraculously born to Jess after he suffered a stroke in utero. After surviving brain surgery at 3 days old. Jeez. He has continued to thrive and grow, although his life is with profound special needs has been challenging at times. Jess's desire was to start a nonprofit in Lucas's honor, but she lacked direction and focus for what it would involve and how it would look. In 2013, the Roney family moved to rural Tennessee and to pursue the dream of a simple life. One of the things that she did stress to us is that when you are taking care of a child with the severity of special needs as Lucas, there really is not a simple life. I made a judgment, and it was a wrong judgment call when I said, yeah, maybe you could offer up some movie tickets for these parents, and then these parents can go out and spend some time. She doesn't have that luxury because you have to be a special person to put in the time and the care of these individuals, like someone like Lucas, because you have to have training. You don't know what's going to set, what's going to be a trigger. Now being the father of a child on the lower end of the spectrum, you got to be very mindful of those triggers. You got to watch what's going on. You got to make sure that everything isn't, that you don't have things that are going to set them off to where there could be danger to yourself and others around. You've got to be very mindful of that. With someone like Lucas, it could also be devastating to their health. So it's one of those things that you really, really need to be very mindful of. Watch everything that you do. I'll watch everything that is done around them. How they provide help. This is something that's fairly new. It's Hope Farm is a housing initiative for disabled individuals in Michigan. So they are building this farm that's going to give caregivers a little break. Not only caregivers a little bit of a break, but it's also going to be something that's active for the people for the individuals themselves with the disability. It's going to give them a little more of a life experience that prior to now they've never really had. They also provide respite and possibly give you that 2 hours to take and do things like, and this is something that's going to be a reoccurring theme. You're going to hear more about it on Friday when we continue this show. Sleep. The word sleep comes up a lot because, we all know every single person has had that one thing that's on their mind that's got them like, good God, I couldn't sleep last night. I couldn't get this project out of my mind. I couldn't stop thinking about that homework assignment. I couldn't stop. I couldn't get the excitement of this hockey game coming up tomorrow. I couldn't get this out of my mind, and so I was stuck in this mode and couldn't do nothing. Well, imagine that every night, because you've got that worry: is my child going to slip over and sleep on their back, which could cause seizures or choking, or are they doing okay? Are they falling asleep comfortably? Are they in pain? Are there other issues? These are some of the things that people with children with this on this spectrum, on this level of the spectrum, they have to worry about every day, because these are things that this is their life. And so, when you get 2 hours, yeah, a movie sounds great, but sleep is something that a lot of them need. And you are going to hear plenty more about sleep when it comes to Nancy's house, because that's one of the things that they truly focus on is sleep. So, but Lucas Project, they also, as I said, provide respite and care packages. I see you gift bags, and that's one of those things that Jess really made a great point about. You know what? I see you. I appreciate you. What you're doing is difficult. We see your struggle. We feel your struggle. We care about your struggle. So that's one of those things that she really brought to my attention. Having parents who were in this uh, um, caregiver group, this caregiver system for 30 years, I got to see a lot of this. Where, well, I would love to go to this event, but we've got so and so who cannot be outdoors that long. So unfortunately, we're going to have to miss it. Or such and such is having a bad day health wise. So we need to be, the 9-1 wait. We need to make sure that they're doing okay, and we can't escape right now. There's just not that chance. So we need to make sure that we're home just in case something happens. So as somebody who has my limited experience with caregiving, I love what Jess is doing and the Lucas Project is doing, and we want to make sure that we're supporting them. Once again, Jess was brought to us by the goddess of the grapes, Stephanie Samos. And Stephanie, anytime that you make a purchase of wine, you can choose the Lucas Project as one of the recipients of your purchase. So, you have an event coming up. Look, we've got the holidays coming up. I know cuss word, curse word, curse word, curse words. Holidays are coming up. A lot of family things coming up. Wine is nice to have around the dinner table for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for Halloween, because you got to deal with the kids. I'm joking. Maybe. There are Halloween parties. Just saying. So get yourself some wine and make that wine count for more than just wine. All you got to do is, once again, go to my lovely friend Stephanie's link tree right there. You can find out how to donate to Jess and anybody else you've seen tonight. And once again, we will be continuing this on Friday because this is just this has been fun for me, reliving these wonderful people, these wonderful missions, and letting you know more about what they do. This is when I started doing this podcast, little did I know that this is kind of what I wanted this podcast to be about, was about these missions. So we will be getting back to regular broadcasting here in the next week or so. We've got some other things that we're going to be bringing up. So we beg you just to stick with us as we go through and we bring up some of these great missions. So, and then we're going to be reintroducing somebody in the October month. 2 more organizations in the October month. We're going to be bringing them on. And our first show in October is going to be about getting back to more organizations. Our last group of the night is, you guys know, anybody who has watched this show at all knows my love for this man, Mr. Bart Bartholomew with Veterans Honoring Veterans. He was part of month number 3. Veterans Honoring Veterans is such a wonderful program because what it does is it puts an emphasis on saving veterans' lives, but it does it in a way to where we're not sitting there saying, they're not overwhelming people with, oh my God, we're watching you, we're watching every step you make. What they're doing is they're honoring their service. Okay. Doesn't matter if their service was in Colorado Springs, if it was in San Diego, if it was in Vietnam, if it was in France, if it was in Afghanistan. None of that matters. Wherever their service was, if they served honorably, if they served this country honorably, Veterans Honoring Veterans has a wonderful, 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 wonderful program. And this program can be found at veteranshonoringveterans.org. You go to their website, this is what you're going to see. Veterans honoring veterans. Oh, look at my little cursor. In, out, in. Never mind. I'm going to stop doing that. You go to their website, and the first thing that you're going to see is their mission statement. Veterans Honoring Veterans, VHV, is an organization of veterans and supporters whose mission is to honor U.S. military veterans in northern Colorado. This is the only one so far that we've dealt with that is very central specific, and this one is in northern Colorado, but that does not make this any more or any less important. They can provide statues. They just ask you to help provide the help them with the cost of the statue. If you need help coming up with the cost for the statue, maybe that's where Community Pay It Forward can help you out. Maybe we can raise the $60 it's going to cost to get it to who you want to dedicate your statue to. This program is so important in my mind that we would love to help you honor your veteran no matter where they are. Let's talk. Get a hold of us, and we're going to be able to do that. Okay, so by presenting them with a commemorative statue of their branch of service. The presentation of the statues are made bi-monthly at Pam Vet, Proud American Veteran, breakfast at the Golden Corral in Loveland, Colorado. I have been to these breakfasts, and I am going to tell you something. It is one of the best times you can have. You see adults who personal experience, and Friday when we play this video, you're going to hear me talk about a Korean War veteran who, when we gave him the statue, he held onto that statue like it was an Oscar, like he just won the Super Bowl and gets to hold the Lombardi trophy. He held onto this thing like it was his life, and unfortunately we had to take it away from him to get him one that was specially for him, because some numbskull dropped the ball and didn't get the information to him in time. But it was so exciting to see. It was just such a wonderful thing. You come over here to the statues on veteranshonoringveterans.org, and you can see all the statues. This is the one that we were able to give my father, the U.S. Army statue, Air Force and U.S. Army Air Corps statue. This is the one we were able to give my uncle, who passed away just months before. We were able to present my aunt with the statue posthumously. It still means so much to me. We were able to live broadcast that, and we send it to my aunt, and every time that I talk to her, she thanks me and she thanks Bart, and she needs to thank Bart, because without Bart it couldn't have happened. U.S. Marines. And this is one of two lady veteran statues, okay? They've actually got the lady veteran statue in the little box right here. I know it's very hard to see, but go to veteranshonoringveterans.org, and you can click on, and you can see it a little bit closer. But it does have a female in fatigue or in uniform saluting. So they do have a lady veteran, if you so choose. You get to choose which veteran or which statue you would like to present. If you have a veteran and you are in northern Colorado and you would like to honor them, please contact them. Right down here, it's on the bottom of the statues page. You can see some of the oh, well, it looks like they've taken, or you can hover over this and you can see everybody who has been presented so far. You can see just some of the smiles on their face, from Vietnam to retired veteran of 30 years to current Air Force, 23-year Marine, 26-year Marine, there was an entire family that we were able to talk to at one of these events. You know, it's such a special thing. It really, truly is. I'm going to ask you to make sure that you visit the website Veterans Honoring Veterans.org. Great people. We want to give all of these thanks to all of these individuals. Sandy from Colorado Promotional Supply, one of our partners. You can buy something from them and you can honor Veterans Honoring Veterans. And you can do that by going to their job form, which is right here. Again, put in Veterans Honoring Veterans in the search bar, www.communitypayitforward.us, www.communitypayitforward.us, pull in Veterans Honoring Veterans, and it'll bring it right up, and you can add their page or add their app to your website. That way, anytime you shop with any of our partners, it goes directly to them. So, but these are just some of the donors. But any news and everything, they've got it right here. So please make sure that you visit veteranshonoringveterans.org and see what else they do. It's a wonderful program. We will be playing the video that I did with Bart on Friday. We do not have enough time to do it today. So I appreciate everybody for joining us today. I know that we've had a lot of people pop in and pop off. I want to thank you very much. I want to go on ahead and run down the lists that we've talked to so far. The first person that you need to worry about right now is the goddess of the grapes, Stephanie Samos. Make sure that you take down her link tree and you contact her with any wine questions you have. She loves to talk to you. She loves to take any orders right there, and she can help you put that order into the donation that you want. I also need to make a point here. Along with ordering and honoring the mission of your choice, a portion also goes to the One Hope Wine Foundation, which deals with clean water, education, and so much more. One Hope Wines is a wonderful program, wonderful wine, great wine, tastes awesome. Mondavi is one of the family of winemakers it's a Napa Valley wine. It's got some of the greatest names in wine who are making these wonderful wines. So it's not some bathtub gin that you're drinking. It's fantastic wines that you can have specialized bottles for. You can do so much with it. It's a wonderful program, great tasting wines. You can talk to Stephanie and you can get wine for your special occasion or ribbon cuttings. We did ribbon cuttings with the Marie Barney Boston Foundation. They had some of our One Hope wines at their events. So, that's just one of the wonderful programs that you do, that she can help you do. Please visit the Avery Foundation or the averycenter.org. The averycenter.org. Talk about a wonderful program. You're talking to about something that Megan and her team has worked hard to do to help people after the life of trafficking. ProjectDieHard.org. Help us get the FOBs built. Please, we ask you to please help us get the FOBs built. What is FOB? Forward Operating Base, where you're going to have wonderful organizations like the Veterans Ranch that's going to be there with equine therapy. You're going to have some program called Community Dare to Care that's going to offer clothing and housewares and more to people who are going to get ready to move on, job searching and move towards living and living their life. VeteransRanch.org. J.R. Smith. You watched a video with us with Mr. J.R. Smith. Great program all about equine therapy. Once again, they've also got a affiliate program that if you're a veteran, you own horses and you want to be part of this, get a hold of J.R. Smith because he can help you get started. MartyredAngelsFoundation.org. I can't say it enough. I love this organization because it's one of the hardest things that you would ever have to deal with, and that's the loss of a child. John was there. John built Martyred Angels Foundation from the ground up, and he's going to run it to help you deal with the unfortunate loss of a child. The Lucas Project. I just, as a caregiver, nowhere near the extreme of what Jess has to deal with. I see the value in what she's doing, and I think that it's a program that really is well worth buying a bottle of wine and showing your support. And Veterans Honoring Veterans. Bart is a dear friend of mine. Love him like an uncle. And really hope that you see the value in what they're doing at veteranshonoringveterans.org. Please make sure that you visit their website and check it out. We will be playing their video on Friday. Folks, that's going to be it for me tonight. Please make sure that you make every purchase count. At Community Pay It Forward, 80% of our profits are allocated to communities in need. With a few clicks, you can make a difference in your community just by shopping. Shop, click, and pick. Shop with our partners. Click a picture of that proof of purchase and pick the mission you choose. We've given you 6 missions tonight. We've got more missions to come on Friday. Make sure that you stay with us and check out everything that we got going. My name is Zach Clayton. I am the president and founder of Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. Join us on Friday as we finish up this list of who we've talked to, and we get you ready for more organizations that we will be working with. So please make sure to love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. No, not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. Thank you very much for your time. I look forward to seeing you next week right here on pACT. And I really look forward to seeing you on Friday as we finish out this whole mission to introduce the people that we've tried to raise some money for prior to now.
Stepping out of her fear, bring me home. Out alone, show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.